could show you how to fight them. I could show you how to defeat The world has been broke down. The world is just announced. Final time is now. The final time to bow. But I will not get down. For you can't force me now. Awakening is clear. I could show you how. I could show you how to fight them. I could show you how to defeat them now.
Welcome back to your favorite channel, the channel that give you the most. Like I always say, my brothers and sisters, Pelican Bay Dog TV and news for the day. Got some breaking news for my brothers and sisters. Got some dog talk. We're going to get into it. Big shout out to all the dog lovers. Like I always say, man, from one side of the world to the other side. From the corner of Los Angeles, from the corner of California to the corner of Myrtle Beach. Big salute, big shout out to all the dog lovers from the top of Maine to the bottom of Miami, Florida. Everybody that's taking care of them pets, man. Big salute and big shout out to everybody, you know, that's doing what they got to do, man. And staying warm out here, my brothers and sisters, because we know we in the cold days right about now. You know, I was talking about how down south, not cold, but we having us a cold winter this year, you know what I'm saying? So everybody got to stay warm, man. And like I said, it looks cool as hell to us. It's cold, but it looks cool as hell to us to see all that snow, y'all boys and women jumping around in up there in different places, man. But like I say, just let us borrow an inch of it. Not much, just an inch of what they call the fluffy snow. Not that icy stuff, just the fluffy snow. And we'll be good, man. You know, melt down and we can go back to work tomorrow. You know, big shout out to everybody, man. I do want to say this, you know. I want to start off by talking about this. I was speaking about this on one of my last videos, you know, when I was telling brothers, I'm not into witchcraft. I'm not into all that. You know, I don't speak to the folk who's not here no more. You know what I'm saying? Unless, you know, everybody, we can't say what may happen to us in a dream. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I don't conjure up the people who's, you know, no longer around. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you know, I told y'all, some of y'all doing witchcraft. I told y'all brothers that, you know, and I see a brother looking for, on Facebook looking for Al White. I seen a brother on Facebook looking for Al White. Now, if you can find Al White, you know, I told you, you got to go find that group of boys who could talk to the people who no longer here. The more and more you look around, you see folk talking to them or looking to talk to folk who ain't here no more. You know, and that brother may not have even know it, you know what I'm saying? That brother may have not even know it, and I'm just joking with you, fam, you know what I'm saying? And just using something I spoke about on one of my past videos to the comment that you made. But if I'm not mistaken, brother, the brother that had the tab dog has passed away, you know? But yeah, man, I'm gonna take y'all brothers into this news, you know. We're gonna go to Milwaukee. It's cold as hell up in Milwaukee right about now. Big shout and big salute to all my brothers in that whole area, in that whole region. We got a brother who, hey, he made that news. I told you, you make the news, you made the news. Now, this is what I need for brothers to do. Look at this video I'm about to show you, you know. And yes, I'm putting my tags on the video, different places. But look at this video and see if this is a PBK9's originated video. Like, or am I just using this for content? Am I using this, you know, to show you brothers? Hold up, man, hold up. Like I said, make sure you pay attention to the video. See if I'm out there with my camera recording all this stuff when it's going down and out there in that. And I'm gonna tell you like this here, you know, as a news reporter, as a journalist, you can do anything them other journalists do. Pop up to your house, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I mess around and keep screaming my name. I pop up in your front yard and actually asking your dog questions like TMZ. Keep talking my name now. I pop up in your front yard. You pull out your gun, you're going to jail. I'm out here just like a journalist. All you can do is tell me to get off your property. You know, and I'm gonna do like the rest of them, ask them questions with my little microphone in front of my hand. And you can't do nothing about it. Big salute to all my brothers down in the chat, you know. But I gotta just say it, man. I gotta say it. When you make it, you make it. You know, we got an incident right here where we got about 6 dogs, I want to say, that was seized, maybe 6 to 8 dogs that was seized. I'm gonna let y'all brothers check out the video and we'll speak about it when it's done. PBK9s, giving it to you the way I always do. Fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Let's get into it.
The criminal complaint against Jeffrey Thompson describes 6 dogs in various stages of neglect at a home on North 6th Street when detectives executed a search warrant there on Friday. The complaint contains images of the animals, and we should warn you, some of the pictures are graphic. The investigation focused on allegations Thompson was using the home for dog fighting. The complaint says the dogs were in cages littered with feces, urine, blood, and empty bowls. It describes one dog as older and underweight and appeared emaciated because of a lack of nourishment. Another dog had scarring on his face and forearms and was visibly shaking from the cold weather. The prosecutors write the complaint also describes ropes about a foot off the ground tied to a wooden beam which was attached to a tree. Prosecutors say dogs would bite and hang on those ropes, saying the technique is used to train dogs to strengthen their jaw muscles and bite for fighting. The same day police executed the search warrant, they spotted Thompson. They say they spotted Thompson in a car at a different location and tried to stop him. They say he sped off from that stop, ran a stop sign, and crashed into a vehicle near Silver Spring. Police arrested Thompson and say they found a gun on him, which he did not have a permit for. The complaint did not say whether the other driver was injured. Thompson has a preliminary hearing, Blake, scheduled for Tuesday.
Now, I'm quite sure Milwaukee got a news channel that broadcasts to the world. Everybody's seen this. Everybody see this. This is nothing personal. You know, we just giving that dog talk and that dog news the way it needs to be given. You know, and like I said, brothers be buying dogs from people, brothers be selling dogs to people. You never know where your dog end up at or where you getting a dog from. Just imagine getting a dog that you didn't know would have had BBs in it. Imagine getting a dog that you wouldn't know was, you thinking the dog's scared, you know, but if you keep getting poked with cigarette butts, you don't think that'll cause you to be a frightening dog, a dog that's scared of people. You know, if you think every time somebody gonna touch you, they gonna hit you with a cigarette butt, you know, you gotta understand these dogs gonna act different in these situations, you know. And so we got to understand as a whole that when we buy dogs from people, it's always the chances that they wouldn't treat them how you gonna treat them. You know, in that particular video there, they said the dogs, they seen blood around. They didn't say, and I'm gonna tell you, they didn't say it was from fighting. But what I'm saying is, I'd rather it had been from fighting than anything else. You know, when it comes to neglecting dogs, because blood, fighting, we know why it's there. Blood from anything else, like stool and stuff like that, is far more problems. You know what I'm saying? We talking parvo, coccidius, or anything else, you know, one of these parasites that the dogs may have. You know, so that's why I say, from a dog man, looking at it from a dog man standpoint, you rather let the blood in the box be from a wound, even though, you know, you don't want them to be wounded, but you rather for the blood to be from a wound is what I'm saying. Because the blood coming from the other side of the body just means a whole lot of problems, you know. And this is the thing, man, when we know we in these areas, you know, it's cold down here, and we got to have our dogs, you know, warm down here. It's not even snowing and freezing and all that stuff. So in them areas like Milwaukee and Chicago and Detroit and you know, all them northern areas, you gotta take the extra step to keep these dogs straight. You know, and just imagine when you got dogs that tear up their houses. You have dogs that tear up their houses, even though they need the house to be warm. They'll go out there and tear the whole house up. You know, so we gotta take them extra precautions, them extra measures to make sure that the dog can't destroy himself, you know, because that's what you call a self-destructive dog. Even though he's not hurting himself physically, by destroying his doghouse, he's hurting himself. He don't have nowhere to sleep at. You know, resorting for him to sleep on the ground or for the weather to come inside of his house because he done broke his house up. You know, so just take these extra measures, man. And like I said, we coming live from Milwaukee on that article. Now, I did get an article with 8 dogs were seized in Connecticut, but that's all they told me, and it was no more information for me to get besides 8 dogs seized in Connecticut for a pit bull fighting situation. You know, and that was all they let me pull up. But I do got some news for y'all brothers and sisters out there today. You know, let's go to Rockford. Let's go to Rockford, where a man is charged with animal cruelty because he ran his own dog over intentionally. You know, so let's go to Rockford and see what's going on with this crazy joker. PB K9s, dog talking news, fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Let's get into it.
Rockford man is charged with animal torture and aggravated animal cruelty after allegedly running over his own dog. WIFR News reporter Sydney Stoffregan talked with a neighbor who says she saw it all happen and will never forget it.
It's going to be a while before I unsee that and hear that poor dog.
On December 27, 2024, Denise Ackerman says she watched a truck run over a dog on Linda Avenue in Rockford. Ackerman told investigators the black Labrador named Duke is owned by 52-year-old John Duncan, and he intentionally ran over the animal. Duncan is charged with aggravated animal cruelty and torture.
Those are the 2 highest felonies you can be charged for under the Animal Welfare Act. One carries a possible sentence of 1 to 3 years, and the other, I believe, is 3 to 5 years.
Officer reports describe Duncan driving erratically and claim his vehicle never slowed down before hitting Duke. Duncan told officers he was trying to catch the dog.
There is a ton of research out there that shows that there are correlations between animal violence and people violence.
Duke was killed on the edge of Denise Ackerman's property. She tells me she saw the whole thing, and the sights and sounds are still fresh in her mind.
Something has to be done. He can't do that. You know, if he would have stopped, probably would have been different, but he didn't even stop to get out to see what he hit.
Rockford Against Animal Violence started a petition to convince the Winnebago County State's Attorney's Office to make sure the case goes to trial.
The public involvement in this is really important so that there is a statement saying that this is not okay.
In Rockford, Sydney Stoffregan, WIFR News.
Duncan is scheduled to appear in court January 10th.
Now, let's go ahead and get this dog news over. We're going to go to Vermont, where a man was charged with animal cruelty. he had a lot of animals around his house and in his house and stuff like that. You know how it go when you're not taking care of your dogs to the neighbor's standards. You know what I'm saying? He may have felt like he was taking care of them to his, but I'm gonna let y'all get into the video and see what it is. And you know, if like I always say, man, never overwhelm yourself. If you can't take care of but 1 or 2 dogs, don't overwhelm yourself with 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of this stuff boils down to. And a lot of these articles I give on this news, a lot of people, they pet lovers and they're gonna take care of their pet the best they can. It's just they got too many. And like I think the brother's gonna say on this video is sometimes accidental breedings happen. You get too many dogs, or you get a dog and breed them and you can't sell the puppies, and then the puppies end up getting pregnant here and there. Now you end up with a whole bunch of dogs, you know, and you love the dog, so you don't want to just take them to the shelter. And then I want to say he said, taking them to the shelters say they full. So, and we all know that most of the shelters across the country be saying they full a lot of the times. So what's that leaves a brother to do when the shelters are full and I got a dog I can't take care of no more? You know, it's like the city making it a bigger issue for the person who just want to get rid of their dog. I just want to bring them here, but I got to go through all this other stuff. I got to take them way to another city. I got to do just to get rid of a dog you don't want to take care of, and you telling them you can't take care of it. But now when they come see that it couldn't be taken care of on your property, they want to lock you up for it. When plain out simple, you said you couldn't take care of it, but I don't got the money for y'all to put them down. So if I'm flat broke, an animal shelter won't take my dog.
He's from a home this summer, and now 5 months later, charges in the case.
Channel 3's Ike David joins us live in studio. Ike, what have you learned?
Jason Hoffman faced a judge today accused of abuse for neglecting dozens of dogs. He tells me he had never hurt the animals, but his neighbors say the evidence shows otherwise.
The Ross family left a busy life in New York last spring to move to Mount Tabor with a population of just over 200.
So we finally found the house that we have always been looking for.
Mother and daughter Haley and Susan Ross say their dreams of a new life were immediately met with a nightmare neighbor. They say they were aware of the trash across the street, but not the health issues that came with it. Or the dozens of dogs.
A lot of them look so malnourished, and it was just heartbreaking to see.
And the dogs were not the only problem at the property.
We have found rats that have entered our property.
And it all came to a head in August when the neighbor's house collapsed. 35 dogs were loose and in danger, so local and state officials stepped in.
What was it like when you walked the property?
It was horrible.
Noelle Weeks is the town health officer and assistant town clerk in Mount Tabor. She says town officials and neighbors have tried to help.
I've sent multiple violations. I've been down there. I've talked to them multiple times, and what I get in return are death threats.
She was there the day of the collapse. The dogs were rescued, brought to shelters and veterinarians.
Yeah, the smell was horrific. Most of the dogs had scarring on their faces, their ears. You can tell that they've fought to survive down there.
On the record, State versus Jason Hoffman.
Now, months later, the state's attorney bringing charges.
The living and medical conditions that the dogs were in were the basis of the charges we filed.
Jason Hoffman pleaded not guilty to 10 charges of animal cruelty Monday. Court paperwork paints a gruesome picture of neglect. Dogs living in unsafe and unsanitary conditions in the house, which was covered in their own feces and urine. All 35 had fleas and bite marks, and many suffer with a variety of other health issues. The charges took months due to the nature of the investigation.
Those processes took a while, and that's why we are here today rather than right back in August to ensure that their investigation could be comprehensive.
Hoffman's home has been deemed uninhabitable, so he lives with his wife in the RV next to the condemned house. He tells us they are living with no running water and uses a generator, which we could hear running.
What are the conditions like in the RV here?
comfortable. It's like a house.
He just got a few dogs back from the shelter from the August seizure. We saw them when he let them out into a fenced area in front of the RV. He says he wants more of his dogs back and that he and his wife love them.
Not that hard to take care of animals.
He denies any wrongdoing.
Accidental overbreeding. I was trying to find shelters for him, but months before all this, and they kept saying they were full.
And says the rats are not from his property.
Do you think you're overwhelmed?
No.
The town and neighbors disagree.
You can love your dogs, but still not treat them properly.
It's a real show of neglect and abuse.
Hoffman left court on conditions that he does not have any animals on the property. It's expected the ones he currently has will be sent to the Humane Society. For years, I've been looking into animal cruelty cases and the trouble with enforcing them. Tomorrow night at 6, an update on proposed legislation that would change how these cases are handled here in Vermont. Darren?
Now, let's get into this dog talk, man. It's 2025. We got the dog show, the digital dog show coming up at the end of this month. We got the South Bottom Dog Show down in Louisiana for my brothers in February the 14th, which is Valentine's Day, for all my brothers and sisters that want to, participate. Some great events that brothers got going on, man, for, just the pit bull in general, not to mention whatever ADBA or ADPR, think I'm pronouncing it right, shows are available. Everybody, like I always say, man, keep them dogs right. Keep working them dogs hard like you're doing. Keep doing your trial and errors with your programs, with your keeps and all that type of stuff. You'll master it in a minute. You know what I'm saying? You'll master it. And the thing about it, I think a good keep is always being able to adjust with the dog that you got. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I can have the perfect keep that was working for Bo, may not work for Nitro when I had Nitro, and like I said, Bo was all road work, Nitro was treadmill work, Bo was all natural, Nitro was natural with a tad bit of something else because he went blind in the corner, you know what I'm saying? He overheated, went blind in the corner, and that's only, most of the time that come from your injectables. I think one of the hardest parts of these keeps when I hear different people speak is learning how to control the water, learning how to control the food intake and the actual weight of the dog. A lot of people have problems with that. Some people choose to take the water away from the dog at a certain point and just give them a certain amount, throughout the day or, whenever. And everybody have their own way of doing it. I can't say none of it is right or wrong. It's just whichever way you prefer it, as long as the dog doesn't suffer from it. If you don't know what you're doing, leave the water there. If you know what you're doing, if you're going to be on it like that, I can't say it's nothing wrong with that, giving the dog a certain amount of water, throughout them last few days or that last week or so. But it's like I said, man, it's trial and error. With me, I always use myself as an example. I never really took the water away. I always like to, no matter what competition I'm coming in, even if I'm coming in a confirmation show, I'm still going to give myself a weight. You know what I'm saying? If I'm coming into the South Bottom confirmation show, and I know it's February the 15th or February the 14th, whichever, I'm going to give myself a weight, even though the weight don't matter. I'm just gonna do that for my own benefit, and make me feel like, I'm competing. I gotta get this dog at this certain weight. You know what I'm saying? It gives me a goal to go to, try to reach or whatever. And let's say I say I'm gonna be 45 pounds by then, and right now I'm 48. It just give me goals to work to, even though the weight don't matter, but like I say, trial and error, playing with do you know how to work the scale? Do you know how to keep that weight on that weight? This is a perfect time. When you're going to a confirmation show, the weight don't matter. All you're trying to do is get your dog confirmationally sound, looking good. So call your own weight out, play with it for your 8 weeks or your 6 weeks. Then when it's time to go to the South Bottom Show or the Summer Digital Dog Show, you know, you say, oh, did I make weight that day? You know, it's only a little practice for yourself. It has nothing to do with nobody else. You know what I'm saying? And if you made weight, you know what you're doing, and everything worked accordingly for you. If you don't make it, you know you would have been paying a forfeit, or you're gonna be out of the competition that you're trying to go into, you know, or not looking as sharp as you want to be looking. You know, so it's all kind of ways. You don't got to just do a keep for nothing out the blue. Go to a dog show and do your keep, and then play with that scale, play with that weight and all that, play with your water and all that type of stuff. And that way you know, is this the way I want to go? Or do I need to leave my water? Because me, I just leave my water, keep an eye on my weight every day. Like I said, in my 8-week keep, I'm weighing the dog multiple times throughout the day. You know, I weigh him in the morning, I weigh him in the evening. I make sure I weigh him when he empty. You know, I gotta weigh him when he emptied all the way out. You know, and I'm gonna weigh him, you know, like I always say, I'm gonna weigh him so much that I'm gonna know what he's weighing, and or at least be so close to exactly what he's weighing the next day. At least once we get a week or two into the program. You know, if he's 45 early in the afternoon or early in the morning, he's still got food in him, I know he hasn't emptied out from the night before yet. You know, so if he's 45 then, and I wait, now see, I take him out and he empties out before he eat again, you know? And we're not talking about emptying out from water. We talking about emptying his stomach out. Once I weigh him and see what he weighed in, then I'm, you know, some people weigh the food, you know, but I say if I give him a cup of food or whatever I'm giving him, and then I let him eat, I'm gonna throw him up there right after he eat, just to see what he weighing with that food in him. So now, if he went back from 44 to 45 something after he ate, so I know everything about the dog. What he is when he's empty, what he is when he got food in him, what he is a couple hours after he ate. You know, I'm knowing all this type of stuff. And that's just all about, and all that helps you when it comes to, do you need to hold the water and all that type of stuff at the end of the days, and is he too dried out and that type of stuff. See, a lot of people use Dex for drying out. I never really used Dex for drying out. I used Dex for blood clotting and stuff like that, far as swelling and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Keeping the dog from swelling and getting areas getting inflamed and stuff. You know, so that's pretty much what I use it for. But other people use it for drying out and stuff like that. You know, and like I said, drying out for the show was never really my thing. My thing is just keeping a dog on weight, keeping them healthy, making sure every single day he's working just as hard. When I say hard, I mean something's not wrong with him. He's not holding back. If he's holding back, that means I need to see what's going on, see why he's not. Maybe he need to rest a day. Maybe he need to rest 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he need to rest 3 days. You know, if you rested him for 3 days in your 8-week, maybe you did something a little wrong and you overworked him. Times where he should have been off the meal and you done hurt his leg or something, or got him where he pulled a muscle or something like that. You know, so if you're doing it right, then a day rest should be pretty good. You know what I'm saying? And like I always say, in my opinion, nothing competes with road work. And that's the thing too. Road work don't need rest periods like treadmill work does. You know, although you can give it to him just to let him rest, you know, just because he is walking, he is working, but the dog looks at road work totally different than he does that treadmill. The dog himself, I mean, you know, he looks at that different. Road work is more like, I'm going out to have fun. I'm going out to have fun. I'm going out to have fun. But at the end of the day, he is still working, so you still will need to give him some rest. A day he just sits and chill. But, you know, how about us to have them dogs and different brothers to have them dogs that when you leave them on their rest days, you know, you pretty much got to leave all the dogs alone. Because if you take another dog off, he'll get to running back and forth on the chain. And if you're running back and forth on the chain, what's the purpose of me resting you? You know, you really I gotta take you and put you in a crate and put you up and let you just rest and bring you out to use the bathroom and eat your food and drink water and stuff like that. Leave you some water in your cage and stuff, but actually just put you away in a cage and let you rest. You know what I'm saying? And try, like I said, for brothers who got time to do it, try it out, man. You know, try the road work out. Serious road work. See, serious road work ain't riding down the street for a mile, or looking at it on your phone, and coming back for the other mile, knowing that's 2 miles, and you know, and trying to equivalent that to treadmill. See, the road work that I'm talking about is just dedicating a certain amount of time of just walking, different places, walking. You know, you're not really keeping up. You can check your phone or something when you get back, you know, but you're just walking. Take your time, letting the dog rest here and there. You don't gotta walk one straight direction and then walk back. You walking 3 or 4 blocks and you chilling. You walking 4 or 5 blocks and you chilling. You walking 2 blocks and you chilling. You know, you walking 10 blocks and you chilling. So it's like the dog taking breaks throughout this time and it's helping him. Like I told you, it's all about building a second wind. If you're not building a second wind, you're running on a treadmill for nothing. You know what I'm saying? No matter how skinny he look, no matter how in shape he look, if you can put him on the mill and he can run full throttle, keep that steady pace, and he build that pace up by himself, not by you putting a toy in front of him or something and making him pick back up. You got to see him picking back up on his own, and you like, okay, yeah, he's picking up now. I can see him. He's picking up. He's got that second win. He built it up, you know, and you want him to build a third win and a fourth win if needed. It just depends on what the competition is you're going to. You know, second and third wins would be great when you're going to these confirmation shows in these hot areas and the dog get tired walking him around the ring and different things and showing him, and he getting riled up and he getting in his stances and different things. Second and third win would be great for times like this. You know, don't fool yourself that you're not gonna need a dog that's really in shape when you're dealing with these brothers out here in these ring areas. You know, you're gonna need a dog that can go out there for that first hour, look good, look like he's supposed to look, and not come back in that second hour, that third hour, looking like a drained dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's always time to work these dogs, man, especially like I said, when we're going to these events and different things. Treadmill wise, if you're working your dog for a treadmill competition, you know, you pretty much know how you got to work that. I guess it's whoever gets the furthest amount of time in the shortest amount of time, the furthest amount of length rather. If you can get 3 miles in 2 minutes and I only get 1 mile at 2 minutes, then I'm guessing that's how it goes. You win. You know, and the dog that's running the fastest, most of the time it's gonna be the dog that's getting the further in distance. You know, but yeah, man. Keep them dogs looking right. If like I always say, if any brothers have any questions when it comes to anything, man, just hit me up. You know, if it's something short I can answer, I'll hit you back in the messenger. If it's something I probably just need to talk about on the video, I'll speak about it on the video. It's a lot of stuff that, you know, that come to me and came to me over the past week or so that brothers want me to put out on certain things, but I don't really like to just put stuff out like that. I really like to stick to the news and stuff that's pertaining to the news and stuff that's pertaining to these pedigrees and the dog history and stuff like that. I don't really like to get into personal business of the dog brothers or what they got going on outside of the dogs, you know, 'cause that's not what I'm here for. We're just here to learn more about these pedigrees, man, because like I always say, man, big shout out and big salute to all the brothers that's my age that's getting involved with the dogs for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Because we got thousands of brothers across the board like that, man. And brothers will give these brothers, it'll look a certain kind of way, and you'll get the wrong impression from different bloodlines, like different bloodlines are weak as hell, or, you know, you may hear me saying, F this bloodline or F that bloodline, but a lot of times that's just my personal opinion, far as my preference of lines I like. You know what I'm saying? We've been up here for a good while now, and we spoke about all different kind of lines, from Eli to Jeep to Red Boy to every line it is, we done spoke about it already, and then we done went into deep detail about the lines. You know, that's why I always say there's only so much you can talk about, you know, before you start talking about the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, big salute to all the brothers with them hands-on channels. I pay attention to a lot of channels, man. I take a lot of notes. You know, I don't know it. I promise you, I don't know everything. Some of y'all brothers may think you have a small channel, but you may be teaching brothers like me, you know, how to do this with my dog or how to do that with my dog. You know what I'm saying? That's what, like we always say, man. We always got to be open like a sponge. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, when it comes to my bloodlines, you know, I like what I like. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to great dogs, I like great dogs. You know, I like great dogs, but I'm content with trying to build a great dog off of the lines I've been running, you know, that been working for me. You know what I'm saying? There's no harm in venturing out and trying other things. You know, sometimes that's where you find greatness. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's where you find greatness. But we're in an era where if I found greatness on a line of dogs that's not popular at all, on a line of dogs that is not even considered a line of dogs, it's just a bunch of names and nobody know the names, and it's just super unpopular, like super unpopular. Like, the great dog won't get the props, you know what I'm saying? The great dog won't get the recognition, and that's the era we in, kind of, you know. So that's why I always say, brothers, if you got something great, if you had something great and you're working with it and it's all the same stuff, keep on until you make it the way it used to be, or till you make it the way you need it or the way you want it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just, it can get crazy out here when it comes to these dogs, man. And it don't take much to drift you off into a branch or a line of dogs that throwing them traits into your dogs that you don't want. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, man, I'm not a big mouth chaser when it comes to dogs. You gotta have more to offer than just a mouth for me to breed with your dog. And I'm just speaking about in my days as far as, you know, my Wild Wild West days, you know. Modern day times, I'm not, you know, I'm not looking for certain things, you know, but you would have to have more than mouth. You know, like I always say, I was looking for gameness. The dog that could, you know, make you look like an alligator. If I knew he stopped, you know what I'm saying, and then I knew this one over here could never be stopped, but he never wounded nothing, I'm gonna breed to that one right there. You know, because that's what the game was about. Like I always say, man, it was about gameness. Which one gonna keep coming? Which one gonna keep coming? And then you get your other things that's involved with it, your smartness, your roughness, your toughness, and all that other stuff. Is he durable? Can he take it? You know, some dogs are more durable than others. Some dogs go 1 or 2 shows with average mouths, and you know, that's all they can go for the whole year. Then you got some dogs that can go 1 or 2 shows in a couple weeks. They're just more durable. You know, they can take more. And you know, like I said, man, brothers will get confused. Brothers that's just coming in the game. A lot of my older brothers, we'll be more subject to this. My younger brothers, they gonna do a little dipping and dabbing. My older brothers, they content, they know they trying to get the best, you know what I'm saying? They trying to start with the best, you know? So they might try to go with your more famous dogs or your dogs that, you know, that's more well known. You know what I'm saying? And that's great. You know, that's the whole point of making your dog great and making his dog and her dog great. So when the time comes 20 and 30 years down the line, you know, brothers can be like, oh, you know, we want to stick with this. We want to stick with that. You know, we want to rock with this. Brothers that's just getting in the game, I mean. They said, oh, we want to get with this stuff because we've been hearing about this stuff for the last 20 or 30 years, you know. And that's just all it is to it, man. These dogs were great at some point. They made great offspring at some point. And that's just, you know, that's just the way it is. I must say all lines are capable of creating great dogs. You know, all lines aren't on the same level. You know, and for anybody that didn't hear me correct, I say all lines are not on the same level, you know, but all lines can create great dogs. But you may get 10 great dogs out of this line when you may get 10 great dogs out of this line in a matter of 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And then in this line right here, you may get 5 great dogs in a matter of 20 years. You know, and we're not talking about average, we're talking about great dogs. You know, a lot of brothers, you know, and I noticed this when I first started doing these dog shows, when you start speaking about aces and stuff like that, certain people can't speak about aces. You got to be a certain person in the dog game to speak about aces or knowing what an ace is. You know what I'm saying? And the thing, like I said, man, when you get them, you got them. You know, when you get them, when you got them. And the thing about it, me, myself, personally, my own opinion, I don't think aces are born. I think aces are created. You know, and that comes with the schooling and all that. I don't think you can be an ace without going through the battlefield. And that's just my opinion. I think the ace is a title. Now, let me say it like this now. Let me say it like this. If I got a dog, Rainbow Bright. Rainbow Bright, they've been in 30 matches, right? Now, not all, you know, schooling and stuff like that, and plus the regular shows. All together about 30 shows, 30 matches. All right, now, this dog never lost. Considered an ace. You know, one of them dogs you don't even got to work, you could bring him out and he'll still win. You know, considered an ace. But this is what I'm saying, right? That same dog would have them same genetics. He may not have the ace title, but that same dog would have them same genetics with no shows at all. With no shows at all, he's still that same exact dog. But the thing is, we don't know the stories to go behind him. We don't know all the stories to go behind him and the different things. And can this dog be an ace still with one show? And you look at him and say, oh, he an ace. He only got one show. I don't think you can be equivalent. Like I said before, I don't think a champion can have the title of an ace unless he's had buku backyard shows. You know what I'm saying? Not no 5-minute schoolings. We talk backyard, buku backyard shows. And then he only got 3 in the actual contracted or whatever. You know, then I say, you know, he may make him be considered an ace, but just 3 and your little 5-minute shows, little 5-minute schoolings, and just your 3, I don't think 3 can be considered an ace. You know, I think aces have standards, and 3, you can't see the standards, you know, in your dog. You know, I think when that dog come out from his schooling and come out from all the stuff he did in that backyard, you know whether he's an ace or not. You know then whether he's an ace or not. That 1, 2, 3 shows, they make him official champion, official grand champion. But just 5 shows alone without something else, because 5 shows can get over fast. 1 in 15, 1 in 10, 1 in 30. You know, for as long as he went was 45 minutes. And he's the grand champion. You know, it's something different between those titles and an ace title, in my opinion. You know, them ace dogs, they just gonna win. No matter what a position you put them in, they gonna find a way to win. They can be 5 pounds under, you know, they can be over. They can be tired that day. They can be sick that day. But them aces is gonna figure out how to win. That's what I think an ace is, man. You know, I think it's bigger than them titles that them dogs get in them. Like I said, I don't think an ace can be just a champion or a grand champion. You got to show more than just them 3 and 5 shows. You know what I'm saying? Now, you start talking about double grands and all that, maybe then. But the stuff that happens before them 3 and 5 shows can definitely classify this dog as an ace. How many of y'all got 10 contracted shows from the Wild Wild West days? 10 contracted. If you got an ace or if you had an ace, you would have felt unstoppable. You know, them 5 shows, you would have felt unstoppable with an ace in your hand. And a lot of brothers had it. You know what an ace is. Them dogs that they can be beat. But man, listen here. You pretty much gotta give that dog all losing circumstances and put him on the end to where he gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, he gonna find a way to rise to the occasion. And like I said, man, we just here to talk a little bit of dog talk today. I give y'all brothers and sisters a little bit of dog news. Hit that like button up. You with your channel, K9s, Dog Talking News, my brothers. You know what I'm saying? And like I always say, man, I had a dog in the chitlin circuit back in the days, and it couldn't be stopped, right? All right, now I'm telling you the feeling I felt. I felt that feeling, you know, but it's a different kind of feeling, my brothers. And I ain't even felt this feeling yet. I can just feel the butterflies that's coming from the feeling. It's a different kind of feeling, my brothers, when you take one of them dogs. And I know a lot of y'all not into this. A lot of y'all not into this, but if you could take one of them dogs, you know, and train it to compete in these shows and in these events with these brothers that got these Malawi's and these shepherds and all that stuff, you know, man, it's that feeling, man. It's that feeling. You know, training each command, you get these dogs to learn. You know, it's that feeling of success. But when you're competing against other brothers with other breeds, and then you still can, you know, rise to that occasion, man, it ain't nothing like that feeling. I got to feel it at least one time in my dog career when it comes to these pit bulls. You know, and you don't get there by just talking. You get there by working. You get there by training hard, day for day, in and out and in with your partner, with your dog that you consider your partner. You know, and when y'all go to that event, you see all the work that you did and everything that you did. It all balls out, and it all how can I put it? The hard work shows, you know what I'm saying? All the hard work pays off, basically, you know? Everything shows and pays off. And you may hear a little bit of noise in the background, and that's just them pups getting the rumbling and roaring and moving all around and stuff like that, man. But like I always say, all we can do is take care of these dogs, do the right things with these dogs, never mind the haters, never mind the folk that can't deal with dogs no more. Like I said, never mind the folk that pretty much is passed away from the dog game, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta focus on brothers that can flourish this dog game with great techniques, flourish this dog game with great ideas, just all kind of stuff, man. Great events brothers can compete in. Cause like I say, the best bulldogs haven't been created yet. A lot of the best events haven't been created yet, man. A lot of the things that we gonna be taking these dogs to in the future haven't been created yet. Brothers gotta come up with, you know, better, more and more ideas. You know what I'm saying? Take the next brother idea and stack on to his. Like we say about the dog channels. Don't take the brother content and diss him. Take his content and stack on what he's saying and add more to it and add more to it. Whatever these brothers doing, take their events or my events, add more to it. Don't diss us or diss me or diss him. You know, just add more to it to make more stuff for these brothers to compete in, man. That's all it is to it. We got 50 states around here. You know, there's no reason to say one brother is doing something that is going to knock what you're doing. Everybody can do their own thing, and everybody can prosper when it comes to these pit bulls out here, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the game is too big to be worried about haters. The game is too big to be following up haters. Like I always say, misery loves company. It ain't my fault. When you had opportunities to do what you're supposed to do, you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do it. Some brothers took their opportunities and made advances with them. you know, and did what they were supposed to do, at least some to an extent, you know. But I just find it hard, and I find it a whole lot easier, you know, when you focus on the good brothers out here, the good dog brothers out here, the topics they want to talk about, the things they want to know. You know, it's a whole lot easier to give these brothers the right information, man. You know what I'm saying? The Tail brothers would find the best Eli dogs from. The Tail brothers would find the best Jeep dogs or the best Bolio dogs. You can't tell brothers and give brothers this info when you worrying and arguing with folk that don't matter. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, like the brother said, if you don't got no haters, you ain't doing something right, for one. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad to the point and the level of hate and level that brothers are taking to try to knock another brother. You know what I'm saying? All because of $1 and a dog sale. And when it comes to Mellow Yellow, brothers will see her doing her train stuff, you know, and sometimes I let her be a dog. But Mellow Yellow's fully intact. When I say fully intact, when she sees a dog, she's gonna do exactly what she's supposed to do, you know, as an American Pit Bull Terrier. And when I take her to these shows, confirmation, you know, they gonna want to see her firing off. She's gonna do exactly what she's supposed to do. You know, I do the training with her, and when you see me with a long cord and stuff like that on, that's just because if she sees another animal or a dog and I don't see it, and maybe, you know, she darts off, I can catch her. You know, I always say safety first when it comes to these dogs. Make sure you have safety first, because you never want accidents to happen, period. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people be out there walking their dogs, training their dogs and stuff, and it don't take nothing for Mellow Yellow to see a dog before I see it, shoot off, and I can't grab her. So that long rope is why I keep the long rope on her. You know, but you have your ignorant brothers that be like, oh, that dog's trained. Listen, Mellow Yellow is intact. You know what I'm saying? All my dogs are intact because I compete in events where they need to be intact in. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers, you know, like I always say, this channel is not for me to explain to the brothers that don't know. I'm tired of explaining to the ones that don't know. I gotta explain and talk to folks that already know. You know what I'm saying? And they direct my attention to the brothers and sisters that know what it is, care what it is, and trying to learn and figure out what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how we're gonna do it, man. 2025, 6, 7, 8. You know what I'm saying? However long we doing this dog talk and TV thing. You know what I'm saying? And like I always say, man, big salute to all of the new channels that's coming up and about to start doing y'all things, man. Big shouts out to all y'all. You know, we about to get us a new president in a couple more days. You know what I'm saying? About to get us a new president. Big shout out to all the Trump supporters. Big shout out to all the people that don't like Trump. You know what I'm saying? We got us a new president, whether we like it or not. When I was doing my research on inbreeding and line breeding and stuff like that, and it was speaking about prepotent dogs, and when you got prepotent dogs, it's easier to have. When you're doing inbreeding and line breeding prepotent dogs, it's easier for them to pass them prepotent traits to their offspring. So that's where it particularly comes into play when I speak about them Big John dogs. You know, them brothers bred them dogs so good, you know, best of the best throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? Best of the best throughout the years that they captured that prepotent trait. That's why when I always tell brothers, those are yard starters. You take one of them dogs and you can start your yard breeding it with any other line of dogs. One of them kind of Big John dogs, you know. And, you know, and like I said, that comes from breeding the best to the best, not fancy pedigrees to fancy pedigrees, because the pedigree may look fancy to you, you know what I'm saying? But to them brothers, when they was putting these lines together, them pedigrees was normal to them. You know what I'm saying? Still normal. You know, and it's like, you know, breeding best to the best, to the best, to the best. Like them puppies I got now, you know, you got Barracuda 2 times in the 4th generation. Barracuda 2 times in the 4th generation, and you got Rattler 1 time in the 4th generation. That's 2 grand champions in 3 different spots in the 4th generation. So that's why I always say, know the line you're dealing with, man. And let's look at something real quick. When I look at these puppies that I got now, when I look at the top side is the Big John stuff. The bottom side is the Mayday. Now, when I go to the top side, we're just going to go off color alone. Just off color alone, no other traits. We're not even talking about the actual features of the dog and how they look. Do they look like Mayday dogs or do they look like... We're not talking about that. We're just talking about the color right now. And let's go into the pedigree. When we start off with Fletcher, he's same color. The whole litter came out Fletcher color. Now, when we go to Fletcher top side, Hacksaw is Fletcher color. Now, when we go to Hacksaw bottom side, Ronda Rousey is Hacksaw color. Now, when we go to Ronda Rousey top side, we got Rattler. When we go to Rattler, we got Split Ears, which is the same color as Fletcher, And then when we go to Split Ears, Mama and Daddy, we got Blondie, which is the same color as Fletcher. Now, we talking Blondie, we talking about that's Big John's sister. That's the yellow daughter. So I took it all the way back, staying in my pedigree, and now I'm back to yellow daughter, and we talking the same exact color as this litter is right now, And like I said, and that's just going from one dog from Hacksaw to his mama Ronda Rousey, from Ronda Rousey daddy to Rattler, from Rattler daddy to Split Ears, and then from Split Ears mama, which is Blondie, and then when we go to Blondie's mama and dad, she's off Yellow and Saber, and you know how that go far as Yellow John and Tance Miss Jocko made the breeding. Yellow John, which I'm quite sure would have been the yellow red nose. So which is the same color as Fletcher. But just talking about pedigrees, man, and like I always say, man, any dog talk without bashing somebody is good dog talk if it ain't harming your dog or if it ain't telling you something to put you in the wrong place or to put you in the wrong situation. You know what I'm saying? We can, like I always say, man, we can big these stories up, tell these great stories. Before I had Pelican Bay Kennels, I had a dog. I might be told y'all about this. I had a dog named San Quentin. And he was termite, red boy Jocko termite dog. But he had like hip dysplasia or something like that going on with his hips. You know what I'm saying? He was a short dog, but he had some funny stuff going on his back hips. So he really wouldn't have did nothing really as far as no conditioning, no keep or nothing like that. But he can walk regular on a leash and stuff like that. But he was a nice looking orange colored dog. But yeah, man, it's nothing like the good old stories, but we just always have to tell brothers this modern day stuff and how this stuff going and let brothers know, and that way they can make the decisions for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Being that everybody's grown, and like I said, I just gave y'all a little breakdown of the puppies that I got now, pedigree on the top side. On the bottom side, you got your Mayday dogs, and pretty much your orange dogs coming in from Lynch. Lynch bringing in your orange color on the bottom side. And there's only 2 orange dogs that I can see right now. Everything else is buckskin and brown on the bottom side. The Mayday, the Barracuda stuff, the Hunch Day. Everything else is brown and buckskin. So your buckskin red noses is coming in from your top side through your Big John side. And like I said, it just helps to clarify and put some solidification on some of the stuff that I'm telling brothers about these dogs being prepotent. And when I say that, I mean, when I always say, oh, man, you can take a cold dog off that Big John stuff, man, and you can start a yard off of it, man. No bullshit. You can't do that with every line. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that with every line. But them lines that them boys bred, they bred that line. And I ain't just saying this, man. I done beat the line over and over. And I'm not just saying this because, like I said, I beat the line, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't running the line at one point. So I know there's a lot of great dogs out there, but I got to say this. If the dogs don't win, if the dog, I'm talking about, just in general, if the dogs are prepotent. I don't know if they back end, I don't know if they front end, I don't know if they best treadmill or weight pull or the best confirmation looking, but the dogs are prepotent. You know what I'm saying? You take a few of them, or you take one of them, like I said, and you can start you a yard off from there and end up with you a great dog within 2 generations. I guarantee you had a dog you're looking for. If you don't have it that first breeding, and then that's just the traits that them boys captivated in there. If they ain't captivated them out, they got that gene to throw that same stuff coming down from that Big John stuff. Even when you breed it out, I breed it with a Chinaman dog. I'll breed it with another kind of dog. You're gonna see that stuff in there heavy. And one thing about it, black is a hard color to overtake. You can have a black dog and I may breed them with a black dog and it may not be all red dogs, maybe all black dogs, because black is a hard color to overpower when it comes to any kind of dog. You know what I'm saying? But the actual traits, the way that dog act and the way them dogs look, they'll be there. They will be there. And like I said, I can only give them brothers props on that situation, man. And you got a lot of other great lines out there that did the same thing, but I just can't help if a brother don't want to stand on their line and break it down to why they standing on their line like that. I'm just, like I said, I got time in with it. I've seen the losers, I've seen the winners, I've seen the good ones, the bad ones, the bad traits, the bad health, the sterile dogs. I've seen it all when it come to them line of dogs. I've seen it to the point to where it may have been in my head, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like the dogs being born sterile, you know what I'm saying? To where they wasn't having no puppies, breeding certain ways. And then you see that, and all that you just do is breed out in different ways. Not out, but to a different family member. But at the end of the day, man, all we can do is try to have the best dogs possible to compete in whatever event you're trying to compete in. That's all we can do, man. I just start worming these puppies. Their eyes open now. So I'll start, showing them a little bit more. All buckskin red noses. Pretty much all look the same. This the first litter I had, really, that all of them look the same. Of course, there'll be different sizes as they start getting older and different shapes and stuff. But as far as actual color, this is the first litter that I bred that all of them came out buckskin red nose. This dog's, the mama dog to these puppies is off of Backdoor Little Joe, which is a buckskin black mass dog, So the buckskin is still there. But she's red, she's a red nose, and Fletcher's a red nose. So, it's like they say that red nose is a pretty strong gene to win over too. You want your pure Big John dogs and pure Little John coming off that walk stuff to start your yard with, not something that's 25%, and you trying to rely on that 25 and say, oh, this is a Walkable dog or a Big John dog or something like that. No, man, it need to be pure. You know what I'm saying? And this the thing, when it comes to breeding best to the best, and when it comes to buying a Big John dog from different brothers, say from different places. Brothers make great breedings. A lot of brothers breed best to best, but a lot of brothers just breed pedigrees, and not breeding best to the best, and that's where you start losing different traits that were kept in year after year after year after year, For some reason, man, I just can't figure out for the life of me why brothers still at this day right now worrying about my dogs Mellow Yellow and Fletcher them. More certain Mellow Yellow. You worrying about you saying stuff like I bred her when she was a puppy and stuff like that and this and that and this and that. Like Mellow Yellow is going on 3 years old right now. Are y'all boys that pathetic? Are y'all boys that simple? Are y'all boys that broke? Are y'all boys that have the lack of great dogs? Like, what are y'all doing that y'all still worrying about stuff from 2 years ago in this dog game? It just shows the lack of everything. It's why you stuck where you stuck at. You know, I had a homegirl hit me up, say, yo, you know anybody want a great pit bull? He's a little funny acting, you know, towards, he get a little skittish acting sometimes, you know, towards people or whatever, but he's a great pit bull. You know, I told her I check around or whatever, but the thing is, you know, I wouldn't even bring that dog up here to say, yo, let's see, can we find a good owner? You know, because there's too many ignorant people in that pit bull game, man. You know, you just have to find a good pet lover that know how to handle them kind of dogs. They don't got no kids and stuff to deal with that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? These brothers is too ignorant. They'll do dumb stuff with the dogs nowadays, man. You know, dumb stuff. And like I said, the crosses that I've been doing, you know, lately, been working great for me, which been the Mayday crosses. And like I said, I don't really consider them crosses, but at the same time, they're crosses. They are crosses because they're coming from a total different family. You know, they've been working great for me, giving me great dogs. Big shout out to everybody that been grabbing and got the dogs in the past from me off different litters. Big salute and big shouts out to you. Like I always say, man, any of y'all brothers that need me to promote y'all dogs, you got free promotion. You know what I'm saying? You got anything that you want to talk about with your dog that you got from me, anything that you want to share is free. You know what I'm saying? If you got products you sell, if you selling products and you bought a dog from me, you know, we can work some free advertisement out. You know, we can work some advertisement out. You know, each person scratch each other back. You know what I'm saying? We martyring this thing out here. You know, it just is what it is, man. At the same time, trying to build your lineup, trying to build your rep up when it comes to the dogs that you running and dogs you represent. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, you can't get mad at brothers because brothers that a lot of y'all want to look down on. You know, a lot of brothers want, and these brothers know these brothers' dogs by first by names in their household. Like, you might say, oh man, he a troll or something, or he just be on a channel, he talk here and there, he do something here and there, but brothers know the name of his dog. You know what I'm saying? Brothers know the name of his dog. That's what it's all about, getting the dog name out there. I saw Red Boy Jeep made all these dog names. It's all about getting a dog name. Whether you like Mellow Yellow or not. You know, I know you's a hater because you can't spell it right. I don't spell Mellow Yellow. I spell Mellow Yellow just like the soda. You know? So when you spell it the other way and you talking trash to me, you're not talking about my dog. That ain't my dog, you know? Mine spelled the other way. But is it a sin? Is it a crime to take care of your dogs? Is it a crime to have your pit bull looking good for any brother out there? You know, is it the crime to stand behind your product? If you got good product, that's the whole point of having it. You know what I'm saying? It got to be some type of reward for the brothers that taking care of their dogs. The reward is you can speak good for your dogs. You can speak high on your shit. You know what I'm saying? When you got brothers out here and walking around in feces and cock cities and all these parasites and all that stuff shooting out their dog ass, smelling like disease from a mile away, I can smell it. Oh, man, you smell that? I ain't going to tell y'all what it smell like because, like I said, certain things don't get mentioned no more. 2025. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm in rehab for that. I'm working on myself for that, making myself a better person by thinking and dealing with only the great people out here. If you ain't trying to be great with these things, I can't rock with you, fam. It's as simple as that. I don't care who you is. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even about no channels. If you ain't trying to be great with these things, you know, I can't rock with it, dog. You know what I'm saying? Everything else just gonna hinder me, just gonna get in my way. And I'm gonna have to step over here and it's gonna get unpleasant. You know what I'm saying? So in order for me to keep all that straight and keep all that down, I'm just rocking with folk that's trying to be great with this breed, man. You know what I'm saying? Great with the dogs in general. It don't even matter about the breed. It don't even matter about none of that. Just great with dogs in general. And I can take some of your knowledge from your poodles, take some of your knowledge from your Shih Tzus and all the different kind of dogs that you got and bring it into my breed. The same way we can take that little bit of knowledge from them brothers that do the Alaskan race and all that stuff with them huskies and them Malamutes and all that stuff and them dogs up there when they get into the Iditarod. We can take a little bit of that knowledge and add it to your keep. I don't care what it is. Look at that whole Iditarod documentary. Look at how they feed them sled dogs and all that stuff. Different sport, totally different atmosphere, cold, hot, different things. But you can take something from that program and add to your whole dog program when you come to competing in sports and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, do you know how many people that actually get mad when somebody say, "Oh man, I like so and so dog"? Not even talking about me, talking about one of y'all brothers or one of y'all sisters. "Oh, I like Bella dog." You know how many people actually get mad and Bella actually get enemies because people like your dog? You know, what's so hard about worming, taking care of your dog? You know, if you're not going to enjoy what you got, get rid of them. You know, I always say, man, it's like y'all get mad because the next person be having fun with their dogs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I never once said you had to be a dog trainer. I never once said you had to do certain things. I just said I'm going to give the dog news. You know what I'm saying? If you get on the news, you get on the news. That's all I said. You know, I'm not trying to force you to train no dogs, force you to do the right things with the dogs. No, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Do what you're going to do. You know? But at the end of the day, you can't get mad at the next person. You can't hate the next person because they creating a platform where they can speak about the dogs, or different brothers have different opinions about the dogs, or, you know, just different things, man. Like I always say, never judge a line of dogs by one dog you deal with, or one dog you did certain things with, and try to knock, you know, it's like this right here, right? If I go get a dog from Mr. Boudreaux, I got one dog from him, and he was a pretty good dog. You know what I'm saying? I made some breeding. I made one breeding with him, you know, and the dog gave me a good champion. You know, what do I look like going back to Mr. Boudreaux and say, you can't breed like I can breed. You don't know how to do these dogs. You don't know how to breed these dogs. I'm making better breeders and better crosses. You know, I'm getting better dogs. Now, I only got one dog from Mr. Boudreaux. Now, Mr. Boudreaux been in the game since before all of us was born. You know, I only got one dog from him. I made 1 or 2 breeders and got a great dog from him. And instead of giving him his props, instead of giving him his kudos and saying, yo, this is where I got this type of dog from, you know, so much jealousy in this dog game today, brothers gon' straight go to attacking Mr. Boudreaux. Oh, I make better breeders. You can get better dogs over here. Mr. Boudreaux dogs ain't doing this. My dog's going longer than his. His dog's stopping at 45. This and that and this and that. You know, instead of just giving that man his props and adding on to what he did. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna knock nothing about the big giant stuff. I just want to add on to their greatness. You know what I'm saying? Add on to what they did, make me something great, and you know, and keep that thing going. You know what I'm saying? And it don't mean destroying what brothers work hard to put together. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean that. You know, because I know great dogs came from that big giant stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and be stupid. I know some of the brothers that I beat with the big giant stuff throughout the years, and because I beat a whole lot of it. You know, I say a lot more than 5. You know what I'm saying? But some of the ones that I beat may have not been conditioned. You know, it may have been something that I know, okay, I'm gonna catch you slipping today. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna catch you slipping today. And I caught brothers slipping certain times. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things that you know about, you know, and when you deal with these lines, you know that stuff. But for me to take one dog and try to judge a generations of dogs, it'd be unfair, man. You know, and it's only It only comes from trying to make a dollar, trying to be that one and trying to be the head of something, trying to say, oh, I'm the top bulldog or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It only comes from that. You know, like I always say, man, you gotta give props where props due at. You gotta let these brothers know when you find great bulldogs. All dogs aren't great bulldogs, but if you listen to brothers with these dogs, you know, they're gonna say they're great. Now, it's one exception to that. The dog that you have in your hand now, I'm willing to ride on you with that. That's a great dog. If you willing to say he great, I'm willing to say he great because I preach that every day. You know, your dog is the great dog that we need to be talking about. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't talking about lying and making up stuff when it comes to greatness and when it comes to having superb dogs and prepotent dogs and dogs that pass them genes down to their offspring. You know, like I said, bred the Big John stuff to a Jeep Chinaman dog that we had. Whole litter came out looking like old school Big John dogs. Red nose, buckskin, black mask, white all in the face and stuff like that. That come off that Little John stuff, at least what I seen. The dogs that I had, they had the Little John stuff in it, had a lot of white sometimes in it. You know, and you could speak to them brothers probably to tell you more where that white come from. But just to me, myself personally, my dogs that I had with Little John in it had white in it sometimes. You know, and the offspring that came off the Little John stuff had white in it. You know, but yeah, man, just a little bit of dog talk, like I always say, man. Big salute and big shout out to my brothers down in the chat. You know, my sisters down in the chat, my brothers and sisters watching this video from afar. Big salute to the brothers that be hitting me up in the messenger every day, every other day with the dog news, with the dog, different flicks and stuff off TikTok and different other websites, man. I appreciate all that stuff, man. You know, just different dog literature, different dog things, you know, you can add to your program or just get a good laugh for the day. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, man, a lot of these brothers, they too serious in this dog game. They egos, they riding on all that stuff. They gotta be tough guys, gotta be big men. They can't enjoy the game, man. You can't laugh at nothing funny to y'all. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, like I always say, to each his own. You know, everybody's goal is to create that top of the line dog. You know, including mine. Everybody's goal should be that, to create that top of the line, that dog that everybody want to get some of, that dog that everybody want a piece of, you know. And I think like this right here, right? You know, modern day time, it'd be a whole lot harder for a lot of y'all brothers to get that great dog because of the hate factor that's in the air. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, it wasn't as much communication with social media and certain things. It was could have been hate in the air, but it wasn't the kind of hate that's out now. You know, with the hate that's out now, once a brother find out, oh, that's a great dog, and certain brothers breeding to him, certain brothers breeding to him, brothers start hating on the back streets. Brothers start hating over here. Oh, this dog this dog that dog this. You know what I'm saying? And instead of, you know, if you just don't want none of it, don't get none of it. You know? It's never, you don't want none, I'm not gonna get none of it. It's always, if I don't want none, I'm gonna talk trash about it before I leave, though. You know what I'm saying? It's never, unless you're dealing with real dog men, you know, and real dog women, then it's, you know, I'm just dealing with what I'm dealing with. Ain't nothing bad about the dog. I'm just, you know, rocking with this over here. When you're dealing with them other kind of dog men and dog women, oh, I ain't getting none of that. I can't deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 and all the other stories that go along with it. And that's what's gonna keep a lot of people from having a great bulldog and having an aight bulldog and having an ace. You know what I'm saying? Ace is hard to come by, but I think aces are created. You know, aces are created, and like I said, champion can't be no ace unless you got a hellified backyard resume. You always trying to discredit the backyard. You always trying to discredit the backyard. Everybody always try to discredit the backyard, right? Yeah, you discredit the backyard, but a champion can't be a damn ace without having the whole resume full in the backyard. Only way a champion can be an ace. Three wins ain't enough. 5 wins ain't enough to me. That don't tell you got no damn ace. But them backyard shows before them 5 or doing all them 5, yeah, you know you got an ace. There's no way possible 1 show, 2 shows, 3 shows can give you an ace or tell you that you got an ace, tell you that you got an ace. You can, oh, I got a great dog. Oh, I got a finisher, a for sure finisher, But you can't call him an ace yet. Ace been through the mud. And like I say, rose to the top of the occasion. But everybody gonna have their opinion on that, and that it just always where it's gonna be. But I'm kind of willing to argue on that a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just a tad bit that a champion can't be an ace unless he got a backyard resume. What made you call this dog an ace? He beat this dog this way, this dog that way, this dog that way. 3 different ways. You got a whole lot more other ways he can see what's going on with the gone. What made you call him an ace in 3 shows? What made you call him an ace and a grand champion? Now, when it get to grand champion mode, your background, your backyard resume don't gotta be as heavy, but at the end of the day, your background resume gotta be more than what your show resume showing. If you got 5 out there and you talking about this an ace, how you know this an ace without having more than 5 in the backyard? You gotta see some things in a dog to call him an ace. You know what I'm saying? You gotta see a lot of stuff in a dog. This pretty much Rocky Balboa of dogs in your area or wherever you at, or the people you dealing with. But hey, man, like I always say, nothing like some good old dog talk, some good old dog opinions when it comes to that stuff, man. What's an ace? What it takes to have an ace? That's gonna be a topic that'll really have a lot of different opinions on it. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers may think they got an ace now, and they ain't even got a one-timer. But it's just, like I said, man, different folks with different strokes. Just enjoy your dogs. Do the right things with your dogs. That's the most thing we got to stress. Do the right things with them. Keep them healthy. Keep them warm in the cold areas. Keep them shaded in the hot areas. And cool in the hot areas, man. I ain't going to hold y'all here too long. K9s doing it the way I always do it, man. Fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Dog TV, dog news, and I'm out.